Так вы все-таки Twitch мутите.
Вот это все ты выключил?
Микро выключил.
Не. И задний. Да, вырубай там все.
Minute on the clock for SK. Where will they choose to go? I'm currently on banana. They will deploy grenades once again, and these grenades have been sometimes they've been fakes, sometimes they haven't, sometimes they've been double fakes. And they won't really know what to do with this, how to stack, etc. Will Crims be the first aggressor here? He's close to the CZ, so he can really do some damage, and there he is. Picks some perfect timing, and then he backs off. 30 seconds remain for SK.
It's actually getting a little bit scary. Crims again just toying with them. If his teammates only had some guns as well, maybe they could actually win this round, but it's hard to expect it, even though SK gets the clock to force their way in. There is no danger in this scenario as they recapture. And there it is, 14 rounds for SK Gaming as they are now away from securing overtime. They had it all up against them. Fnatic so confident with everything to play for, with all of the money, all the guns, looking like they had nothing to lose in this situation. But now it's come to this. SK just grinding all those rounds back. It's been a hard-fought battle for them. One more for them. Fnatic can't be feeling too good about this. They will certainly be feeling like they let a few chances slip already. No AWP for Fnatic in this round. They simply cannot afford that. And also a scenario where they have all of the utility. Sacrifices have to be made.
Fnatic have a reasonable buy, all things considered. Better than I thought it might be. But do they have enough? They are very limited on flashbangs.
Пускай будет.
Even through smokes when Fnatic are playing positions, that may change Fnatic's approach. Probably not so aggressive now at the top as he normally was in that corner position. SK slowly clearing out banana for the time being. And they've left nobody looking mid, nobody second mid, nobody in apartments. They are all here on the B bomb site. But will they commit to this? Two players.
The contact play, very, very strong and surprising. And now Fnatic are in a horrible position, but it's the last round. They have to make something work against all of the odds here. Some flashbacks. There's one that's going to full blind cluster though. SK look very close to the full defense. Fnatic running low on the final push on the floor. It is denied him. Most of the case, one play left, but not for much longer. Fallen gets it done. SK get it done. 15-50. We're going to overtime in map 1 here.
Well then, Fnatic. This is supposed to be their map. It looks pretty good. How many rounds in a row have we seen from SK? You can't say you saw this coming. It did not look good for SK, but they have all the advantages. They have the momentum now, and perhaps they have survived the worst of this. Right then, all teams, all players will start with $10,000. And it will be 3 rounds per half. These are the overtime rules. They will remain on the same sides as they finished on. So SK continue on the T side.
Like that hot flash in case of any mid-shenanigans.
Throwing fire.
SK looking to play out a default once again. Fur and Taco. Dynamic duo here, but look at this. An opening kill. They get the trade. It's not ideal for a CT side, especially so early in the round. And we can't forget that Crimmins would have been carrying a lot of utility still. And that is utility that will just never be used now in this situation. That's why early kills onto CTs is so dangerous for the CT side. But again, knowing that Fur and Taco are always going to try to take apartments, it is always an opportunity for Fnatic. They tried it previously. Previously it went a lot worse. Just straight up lost left. Fnatic trying to 3 players towards A, and puts a lot of pressure on Golden, who is the sole man on the B short at the moment. But SK are actually going to start rotating back here towards middle.
And I wondered if Fnatic had a read on that, but Flush is making his way towards the B bomb site now, so it's a weird one because now both sites are essentially quite weak, whereas I mean, they don't know where things are going, but Flusher, he may realise this as well, making his way back towards the A site, so Fnatic at some point have to gamble. It's the most pressured time to do it in overtime, where you can't really afford to lose these rounds on the CT side, but he's here. 3 CTs now. They've got nobody in position, but they have to look for it, SK. Necro's been taken out there, so running this traction now, but he's only got 1 frag. Flusher, Taco looking the wrong way. It's working. And then for goal 0. Flusher is everywhere. And Fnatic take the first round.
And that's what I'm talking about. Just how do you get those peaks? How do you stay so calm and confident? 3 kills out of the 1 clip. Amazing stuff here from Flusher.
You have to credit though, they changed from Fnatic because every time SK executed an A, Lecro was in the pit position, the Molotov came in, he rotated underneath the balcony, looking away, turned around, got flashed, shot in the face, time after time after time. They completely changed the setup for the SK execute. SK looking all the wrong places, and adjustment.
SK looking to barrage Banana. The utility that they Fnatic hold on for the time being. Lots of grenades exchanged early. Even more preventing forward positions from SK. That will prevent them from getting close against that wall. But they do not want to be denied. Still hanging out. From Fnatic. Fnatic have abandoned the position, and they actually they could still be there. That smoke is up, obscuring the vision of SK. They're playing it very safe. They may still invest more utility now in trying to take these 4 positions. And Fnatic are in a spot where they're going to say to themselves, you know, we're just going to wait for you guys to continue throwing grenades, just wasting your utility, and then we'll re-execute potentially into top Banana if we so desire later on, as we saw previously. SK may be looking for that. And we'll double that now. But they do not have top middle. This is something that Fnatic know.
40 seconds remain. Indeed, JW has been, his position has not been compromised. That smoke's pretty crucial. He's in a good spot, so even if they try to burst through it with a flashbang, it's not quite going to work out. It seems SK are going to try and offer a fake. And I mean, you might buy it. SK are not afraid to executes. JW with a great flash down. He's put in the rotation. Crims is on the way towards the A side, but the bomb from Fnatic. What's going on? No, they've abandoned the B bomb site. There's nobody there. They've got no idea what's going on. It's like they're running for a bus that.
Oh no, you hate to see it. You hate to see that. The B split. Fnatic just did not see it, they did not read it, they called it for A, and now they have to retake 4 versus 2. And this is a post plant that can absolutely work out for SK. Phelps has a smoke, the flashbang as well, they have AKs, full health. Basically, B4 could really work out for SK. It's going to be a tough one though. Fnatic need to be quick. They need to use each other here. The team play's got to be they're running out of time. They've got to go in right now. Let Crow. Stop this! There's not much time!
Oh, it's too late!
It's gonna be so close! Oh! SK! They make it work!
They just took too long. They took too long, Dan. Lekro was on banana, and he had one flash. He could have potentially thrown his flash towards CT in front of the roof, so all the teams facing CT would potentially be blind and a gamble because they just did not have time to wait for that smoke. Gambles have to be taken. Here we are, 16-16. That is an absolutely ridiculous situation, and that's high pressure for Fnatic. They can't play it right. 4 versus 2. You can't lose that round.
That's the first time SK pulled out. Turn into a fake, or it can be a B split as well. That's a call that you can make on the fly based on how things are going. So it's really impressive. Stuff like that. Gets himself a disgusting opening there towards quad, but JW full repositioning here from Fnatic. That's gambling from SK, but SK, there's a time on the clock, they can slow things down, but Fur trying to make the play is going to have a very cold. Doing damage though, gets the trade onto JW. Things are starting to get weird now. There's still a minute left for SK to play this 3v3, but they want A very badly, it feels as though.
Lekro in the usual position. Tops has a flashbang. You can see the nervousness there from coldzera's mum. Very intense stuff. Now trying to for him. Taco gets taken down. The traders there. Cold now, the last man standing in the last round of the first half. He's got to pick up the bomb. It's next to him. Flusher trying to run distraction, trying to get waiting for a teammate. That is a glorious burst, and it's Fnatic to take the lead.
Oh my God! If I was on a seat, James, I'd be on the edge of it. That's why I'm standing currently, so I don't fall off anything. This is looking really crazy at the moment. It's impossible to predict who's going to take this one. There's clutches from both teams, left and right, but it is indeed Fnatic with a 2-1 in the first half. Now switching sides back to that T side, and we did see a really good T side out of Fnatic, but we can't forget that things are so different in overtime because you've already played regulation. You've already shown a lot of the ways that you want to open up the pacing. And the pacing from Fnatic was very fast. They were liking the aggressive plays very much against SK initially. So do they switch that up now? Do they keep things the same? And also in regulation, SK never had money on the CT side. So this is completely different than what we saw previously.
Are you guys ready for this half? Double snipers for SK, all in on the first round. If they get one time this round, no paddle inside. They'll be knee deep, or maybe even next. Early exchange. Banana position. Getting aggressive. Rotation. Trying to force forward from the angle. And there is Banana for Fnatic. Flush will continue his lurking. Some boosts from SK around the B bomb site. SK still playing 3 towards A. And it's similar to what we saw from Fnatic, where coldzera's almost taken JW's position. He's playing aggressive, keeping an eye on things. Meanwhile, the other two will play around the pit. They'll play ready for a crossfire should one be required. T side AWP. It's not going to be easy for JW to get into this angle. He is crab walking. That's a known position. If there is a Warper there, well, the Molotov will take him away. I was going to say, surely JW was doomed, but Fnatic are prepared. That's a very deep grenade indeed. Run wide, well, Golden, and he gets the kill on coldzera.
That is big. Cole didn't even hit his shot, so not even the trade. Problems here for SK. 40 seconds for Fnatic. Shot missed, but the trade plays there, good spacing, good team play, good reactions here from the leader in Golden. Ooh, I thought he was going to push the smoke there, but he didn't do anything as crazy as that, but still defense. Had the best there's one from him, that's all he can offer up as the smoke is there for again, it's so hard to push through these positions for SK at the moment. Fnatic are playing very well around the utility, and Fallen is out of position here. Fer needs to slow things down if he wants to make this working. Well, he's going to go down, spotted out by Crims, and Fnatic. They're on the cusp of it, James. One more round.
I was wondering if they were going to save with 2 players left. I think Fer had to make something happen fast there, because again, you buy 2 MVPs on the CT side in the first round of overtime. If you lose that and you lose your utility, it's a really nasty situation. Fnatic once again making their way to map points. This is
one more round. And they do look rejuvenated. They've definitely got some confidence back after that very awesome comeback we saw in regulation from the SK Gaming side. And again, the spacing there on the push was really nice from the Fnatic players, always able to trade out on one another and take position quickly when it was opened up to them. That's what's the plan here. We have JW still on the AWP, which is good to see.
Grenades again, frustrating SK once more. What is the SK response? Ever dangerous. He does not want to be conditioned by the grenades of Fnatic. He will continue the aggression, and maybe that's what SK need, because again, if they lose this round, that's Inferno done, and we will move to overpass.
I feel like Inferno is like the really big swing map for these 2 teams. And whoever wins this is definitely a favourite going into the end of the best of 3. Fallen going for the aggression, just as you say, James. He will not be... Yes, he does. See you later, Flusher. 5v4 now for SK. Just less than a minute now for Fnatic to make a move, and they've lost presence on Banana. Of course, they can still always double back, and SK have given up information. SK going to hold to a 2-3-7. And they start rotating one now, though, feeling the presence, the pressure, the aggression from Fnatic as they start to execute onto the inside. The bomb is starting to wander back to P. Fnatic offering up the fake there. They have to be fast, and they need to get straight away. He gets the spot. Fallen. Smoke. They're going to have to push through this. First there, though, for the crossfire. This is so dangerous. They're going to walk into a horrible situation. The bait has been set. Don't have much against this. SK stay alive for one more round.
JW was cutting off rotation. He picked a player off Arch, but Fnatic just couldn't get it done on the B bomb site. They were in such a good position, but Fallen says no. Great aggression, getting such crucial information towards Banana. A lovely snap onto Golden as well. And there's one more chance for Fnatic, otherwise it's overtime number 2. Both teams very well equipped for this one. Used it from the SK side. So we'll that pressure towards B once again. No early smoke this time from JW.
Fallen has to be very careful in this position if they throw the right grenades and peek with it correctly. He's in a lot of trouble, but he knows that you have to take big risks. And big games require big plays. And he is ready to deliver for his team, ready to step up in their moment of need. And Fnatic actually not really pressing the issue too much here towards Banana, and Fallen may get curious soon, looking for information. Ready to take apart this. Very slow here so far.
Throwing smoke.
I'm so curious whether SK will try to take some information. The bomb is still high. To either side just yet.
Now Flush starting to engage. And Fer was just holding the Molotov the entire time. As soon as Fallen fires a shot, the Molotov will be deployed to slow any push. Looking for information, he spots 2 players. I don't know if there's a flash for a teammate. deployed. They're going to be looking for some warp. 30 seconds and again, Fnatic, but they still push towards late, but they have control. Getting there though. For time number 2, we might just be both players for Fnatic in the red. 15 seconds now, and Phelps has to hold on to it. He just needs a delay. flusha surely can't go for a bomb on his own now. Last man standing. Overtime number 2 is here.
Wow, I honestly thought that SK were in insane trouble. You saw it on the mini-map. 5 players, they set up the split. But Taco around the pit position, as well as Cole, doing so much damage. And you can see that JW, they set up the smoke so that he could take the pick into the corner of the site. But again, that presence from Pit, even though it was smoked off, was really causing too many issues. And he couldn't take the shot, he couldn't take the peaks that he wanted. And it started to disintegrate from that position. We're walking on the razor's edge at the moment, James, and I have no idea which way this is going to go still. It's so impossible to tell. This is an endurance battle. From the first map, there's 2 more maps that could be after this.
Might come down to just one fatal error from one of these teams. SK continue on the CT side now. Will they go for the double sniper rifle? Fallen has one already. Communicating to his team. Maybe mixing things up to keep Fnatic on the back foot, keep them having to try to expect the unexpected. Fallen, he's been aggressive on Banana. Will that continue? Will we see the smoke grenade early from JW to delay things in that direction? Many questions. Early spray, trying to take away any cheeky attempts. Triple grenades. Oh, that's a nasty shot on Golden. And you're not going to trade that one anytime soon. That's why they're throwing 3 grenades, and it's still not enough.
How does he get that shot? That's unbelievable.
Wow, already Fallen is on Arch. They've rotated the position entirely. They're keeping Fnatic surprised. Fallen is the that's why he's so important. Down to 7 HP now, getting barbecued. 1 minute on the clock for Fnatic.
I am throwing smoke.
It looks like it's back to old Fateful, perhaps not. I thought they were going to go in for it. Moving players back into middle now. After they throw all the nades towards B, it is causing a rotation, but the other players are far away from B. Surely going to work this out. Fnatic trying to sell them the fake. Fallen doing damage still with the AWP, and they'll spot it out. And Fnatic, they haven't really gained the ground they needed to here. And they've given up 2 men for it. And now they just have to push into it. The time is against them. Their hand is forced. In Taco, we have no reason. Fallen gets himself number 3. Gets the Taco onto the 17 health. Doing more damage with the help of flusha. And all of a sudden it's a 2v2. This is possible somehow for Fnatic.
Phelps making his way towards the arch position, and Fur will head into the apartments. Again, they've both got kits. That's quite important. What can flusha and Crims do? They've got a flusha creeping through the smoke. Crims only had 2 HP. What does flusha do now? The patience from Phelps will surely win this round. Look at the play through. He's still alive somehow. He's got to find a kill here. But no, flusha with the headshot. But the bomb I don't think is planted for him. Or is it? Fur looking for the bomb. He can't find it. flusha, where is he going? He's running back to the site, trying to destroy. How has that happened? Why is he running away? Trying to look for cover. That is unbelievable.
I have no idea where he's going.
Is that the fatal mistake that gives this map to one of these teams?
You can imagine Phelps is definitely relieved after that one. I mean, that was a guaranteed kill that he gave up there against flusha coming out the smoke. I thought flusha was done for. He should never have gotten into a position to win the round, but luckily for Phelps SK, they clutch it out, and my God, what on earth is this game so far? Inferno between these 2 teams. We get a faster play here. Crims wanted to go fast up top mid, but the early incendiary now smoked off. SK holding on to map control for the time being, as Fnatic forcibly slowed. They must bend to the will of SK at this point in time, and that is just how it's going to be. Okay, flusha. He's going to win the 1v1 there. Fallen going for Banana. Might be regretting that
Laying
one.
down smoke.
He's through the smokes. Would you have it any? And there's the third one. Flutter is raging. For the ace, how far will he continue? Cold Zero taking a play down towards the short position. What does SK choose to do now? 4 versus 2 on the B bomb side. And it seems they will hold their positions. The money is very low for SK. And there's one more round to play in this half. Flusher making up. I mean, he did well to get that first frag in the last round anyway. 36 kills for the man. Always performs at the majors.
I just wonder if the first kill on Fallen was through the smoke or not. That was ridiculous from Flusher. I mean, this is the thing with this game. There's so many playmakers on both sides that you have no what's going to happen in any situation. That is a nice shot to hit. You'll be quite pleased with that. Cold trying to spotted out and now fragged out. He's in position. It's 19-19.
For those of you unfamiliar with Flusher, he literally, his nickname comes from flushing a toilet. And look at his performance. Flushing SK down that toilet in this round. But it's not been enough. Nothing has been enough for either of these teams to take Inferno. Maybe the toilet flush. 19-19 in the last round now of OT2 half number 1.
Throwing smoke. They are throwing a flashbang.
All right, we'll have Lex. Off again though. SK are creating a situation where right at the start of the round they can't get exploded upon by any contact plays from Fnatic. We see the incendiary in the previous straight away. Just making sure that Fnatic cannot surprise them. They can get position and they have a 3-man setup towards the quad side. Some favors, absolutely strong. Lekro and Golden will claim the advance side, and the inferior weaponry just simply was not enough, even though they had 3 men in position to defend against that push.
The presence of mind. He's got time to dispose of the weaponry. He knows they're short. So he's got an M4. 1 versus 4. And it seems Fnatic are good to take the lead into the next half. He's got nothing to lose at this point. Got to go for it. Doesn't have a defuse kit, so that makes it even worse for him. Trying to approach it as carefully as possible, and the issues are compounded by the smoke grenade. He might have to run, but Lekro will put him out of his misery. 20-19. At this point, we're looking for the first team to get to 22 rounds. Otherwise, we will keep moving through the levels of Scientology to OT3.
What a game between these two titans. And I think if you've ever spoken to any professional player, I think most of them will say that you don't really like going to overtime because things just get weird. You know, you've already thrown your playbook at your opponents, and then it becomes this sort of vacuum, or rather the game or the meta game is just within its own vacuum of this just one game just keeps going on and on and on. And that's when you can see plays like what Flusher made. He's got so many reads as to how SK is playing Banana in this particular match that he can start to make crazy guesses as he previously with his efforts. SK now moving on to the offense, pressuring Banana again, very important, very crucial part of the map. So you can have information. And they are looking really aggressive here, trying to throw a lot of bullets through that smoke. Got to be really careful with that because of the tracer fire. For Fnatic, somehow get the frags. Stays in position though to refrag, but still it's good for Fnatic.
JW should have some sound cues. He should hear that rotation, but Lekro still standing his ground just in case. The quick peek from SK towards the bottom, but surely there should be a rotation here from Fnatic. Maybe there's too much noise because there's going to be 2 per side for Fnatic. Not willing to take a further gamble, not willing to look for any more information. The Molotov is there. Yes, Golden sees the bomb, the rotation is there now. JW is on the way, as is Necro. Will it come fast enough? To the bomb clutch, Golden spraying, can't 4 HP, so close to the haircut, but not quite the blade, not touching. There's the first one, 2 more to find. 4 HP for Fallen, he can't take any damage. Lining up for him. Oh, it's a team kill! It's down to the 1 versus 1. Facing Fallen, he misses the shot. He cannot afford to do this. Going down Banana, Lecro's looking for him. He's gone from 4 to 1 speed, and he's got his sniper! And that's an absolute disaster! Absolute disaster, and Fnatic will move to match, to game point, sorry. Oh boy.
When he threw that incendiary, James, that he picked up, I was very afraid for Fnatic that something catastrophic would happen. That was a close one. Almost threw it away. Fallen, ever dangerous. It was insane, he was tagged so low for the entire time. When he got to plant, I think a grenade soared over his head. He went down to 4 points of health at that point as well. 1 more round for Fnatic, and they'll take map 1. And whoever wins this map, James, they sure as hell deserve it.
Rages on. Spamming Fnatic. Fallen angry now. Can he activate though? Can he be banned Fallen?
Fear my fire.
Can he be water? Calm down. Those are a lot of bullets. Positions towards Inferno. He's really going for it.
Yeah, just don't move out.
He might need a new mount.
Yes, it's crazy the amount of noise they're making, and they were actually running a default. And look at this, Fnatic actually stacking towards A. They think all that noise was just bravado, you know, it's just, well, they were trying to fake them out, but, well, it's the double fake if that's the case, because they are just staying on the bluff, and Golden is alone. He just has to try not to prevent SK taking control. That is Golden. Whoa, that is pretty insane. A quick kill is done to move into position. And that is a move for Fnatic. They're only just now moving out of A.
Only now moving. But again, they've got 2 rounds to do this. I wonder how much they'll commit to this one, because the money is not very good. But let's see how it goes. Moving to team point, but there are fine, and then they're putting in territory around. Golden on the site, Golden's going nuts. Fallen's out of position now. Someone's going to get cover, and there it is. Inferno goes to Fnatic.
Watch out. These boys have got a bit of an arsenal. They don't like using it. Bingo, bango, bongo, bish, bash, bosh.
Completely unbelievable start.